All right, mics are live.
We're here.
We're here.
We did it.
Did we?
No.
No. Oh, hello.
We're here.
Welcome to the warm-up.
We're going to warm it up.
Oh, hold on. Let me just... Should I hit the theme now?
Yeah.
I should probably hit the theme
Sure.
now. Warm up. We're getting warm.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna record a podcast.
Yep.
We're gonna warm up.
We're going to feel like people.
We're gonna human it up.
We're going to human it. Hello, everyone. This episode, typically the warm-up is Patreon exclusive. This is one of those dire times where we're going to make this available for everybody on the main feeds and on the YouTube, across everything. Just because, as Miss Rachel says, big feelings are okay.
Yeah, we've been deep in the Miss Rachel right now.
Y'all.
Icky, sticky bubble gum.
Yep. I dropped my toys.
Drop my toys.
But it's we got a lot of things to talk about. The first thing I want to focus on is we are not, as I said in a couple of posts online, we are not focusing on the immediate past. We're not going to sit here and try to re-adjudicate everything that we all just experienced with the election, with everything else. We're acknowledging it, that it happened. We tried our damnedest, and I know a lot of our listeners tried by volunteering, knocking on doors, talking to friends and family. It didn't go our way. That is about where I have to set with it. Yeah. Because you can have PTSD focusing on all of the stuff you could have done, and there is nothing, at least on our side, that we feel we could have done differently that would have found the votes necessary. Yeah. With that being said, we are focusing right now on the present. And we're focusing on trying to make sure that we continue to bring all of you guys a podcast to get you through your day. Over the last 2 years, all of our listeners have reached out to us many times. And they've said, we listen to your podcast when we drive to work. We listen to our podcast on commutes. I listen to the podcast with my partner
while we're at work, while getting paid. That's my favorite time to listen.
Yeah. At work, while getting paid. All these different times.
You just steal some value from your employer.
Steal away. But all of that is, we know what our role is in your lives. We've been in discussions, Mrs. P and myself, about what this podcast is going to be next year. We had some plans if things had gone one way, but we also had plans for if things went another. Yeah. And it's really been about concentrating on how to make it, how to stay up here and how to keep this.
He's pointing at his head.
I'm pointing at my head. Sorry.
Audio podcast.
I'm pointing at my head. Audio forward podcast. Thank you.
I think in times like these, when I can only speak for like the 3 days out right now. Yeah. When we're super stressed, I know for me it helps to really focus on the things I can control when everything feels really out of control. Yeah. And so like, what I can control is like, okay, we make this podcast. It's a labor of love. It's something we really enjoy doing. It's a passion project that we're so excited about, that other people enjoy. And we have this community that we built and like love and are obsessed with. Y'all are so much funnier than us. The comments are incredible. And so like, I can only speak for me. I want to put out something where if we can give an hour a day or 20 minutes a day with a warm up of a little, dopamine, peace of mind, like something like that. And like, that's what we're focusing on in this 24 hours is like, we got our shit together. We got someone over to watch the baby. Yep. We're putting in the effort to put something positive out today, because this is the one thing we can control at this point. But also, I just want to say, you don't just speak for you speak for us. Yeah. In reality. And that's the thing. But also, not only is this podcast, I feel like we're turning into an NPR. Yeah, mine as well. Like Pledge Drive. Not only is this podcast brought to you by No, honestly, fuck NPR. I'm still mad. I'm still mad at NPR too. There's a lot of people I'm still mad at. Jill Stein, you bitch, I'm going to find you someday. What'd you call her in your...
I called her a raggedy bitch. And I said I was tired of tussling with that hussy. And then people were like, Miss that? No, shut up. No. Y'all did not have
Raggedy
her.
bitch was such a funny.
Jill Stein, and I know I said we weren't looking backwards, but just give me a minute on this. This is personal.
Let him cook.
Let me just give me a minute, okay? I had fucking Jill Stein and her washed bots, because she was washing a series of bots that were being paid for by conservative groups and by foreign adversaries, and she was making them seem legitimate, so people didn't want to step forward. Because if you posted saying we have to vote one way, you would have all these green hearts and all this other shit would suddenly appear in all your fucking comments, all of your fucking messages, all of your fucking DMs. I knew it was an op. I knew it was a psychological operation that was being targeted at me and other fucking creators who were desperately trying to get out the message that we need to stop this. I knew it, and I told people it. And I watched it work on so many fucking people who now are like, I wish I had done more.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to speak up because they saw the targeted hate and harassment campaigns that would happen, that was being washed through the Green Party and Jill Stein specifically. And I've noticed on TikTok especially that Jill Stein has not posted in 48 hours. Since the election was called, she put up a fucking written note that I know that bitch wrote fucking before the election was called that said this is all the Democrats' fault, and then she pieced out. When she's been on fucking TikTok for 6 fucking months, in the comments on TikTok lives, in my fucking emails, being like, we should do a TikTok live debate, you and me, about the real truth, about blah, blah, blah. No, absolutely not. You're a fucking op. You've always been an op. Go sit in your fucking mansion. I'm glad your kids don't talk to you anymore, you raggedy hussy bitch. And listen, I know language. No, fuck it. Not for her. Okay? Not for her. That's where we're leaving it with her. I'm just, y'all, I just want you to know.
I want you to bring it back.
I want to bring it back.
Okay, we're going to bring it back.
We're going to bring it back to a place of positivity.
We have sometimes when it comes to Promania 500, you have to let
in.
him, no, not that. I was going to say, you have to let him pull the steam valve.
Yeah, you got to release a little pressure.
You got to release the steam valve every once in a while.
Just a little bit. But my mouth is getting dry. My mouth is. I gotta take a sip of water. But one thing we did want to mention is number one, we had pre-recorded a lot of the last bunch of episodes, which is why there hasn't been shout outs.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was because of I was running around trying to do election stuff and trying. Just trying.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back to our regular schedule.
Yeah.
Of Patreon shout outs. But also we have had help over the last bunch of episodes. And we wanted to give a really big shout out.
Oh, I thought we were going to wait till the actual episode.
No, I think we should do it here too.
Okay.
We're going to do it on both.
Yeah. So, when we were talking about community, and like when it comes to like supporting our online community and the people that help us, we really appreciate anybody that supports us. And specifically, I want to thank Sad Beige is how everybody knows her online. Sad Beige.
That's her handle.
That's her handle if you find her. And she is, number one, so fucking funny.
Yep.
She's so funny.
She's so funny.
And she's been helping me with research because, we were putting our all into what we were supporting in the last year. I needed some help with research and getting, some facts together. And she's been helping me. And it's been incredible. She is so funny. She writes me the funniest notes on the sides of these little Google Docs where you can put the comments. Honestly, funnier than me. And I want to give a huge shout out to her because like when we talk about supporting libraries as like a huge goal of mine always, especially now, I think if you thought I talked about libraries too much, get ready.
And if you thought they were under threat before,
get ready. So like she's a librarian and her husband's a librarian. And so they are exactly our community. There are people, and I just wanted to give her a big shout out and thank her for all of the work she's done, helping with these episodes that are coming up and some past episodes. She's incredible. And just big shout out. Go follow Sad Beige. I think it's official Sad Beige on Instagram. It's just Sad Beige on TikTok.
We'll tag her in the show notes. But also also along that line of things that we're planning on doing, and because we want to bring merriment and mirth and something to look forward to while living in the present at the same time, I would like to make a special announcement.
What's that?
Which is that you are not doing a book club this month.
Oh, right. I forgot. Oh my God, my brain is literally nothing but cheese sticks at this point.
I know. It's been hard to hold down food, but I ate
a string cheese today.
You ate a string cheese today. Okay. I had 2 Snickers from leftover Halloween candy. I would like to announce that I am doing the book club this month.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, y'all. Y'all, I know it's hard to eat, but Thanksgiving's around the corner, and guess what? Mr. Pearlmania is here to eat for you. I'm reading Horny Fairy 3.
That's right.
I'm reading Horny Fairy 3 right now, y'all.
He started reading it.
I started reading it like a month ago. It is dense, and I hate it so fucking much. It is, but I will say, the one thing that I can go ahead and, I'm not really spoiling, because the book 1 was like, oh, it's Beauty and the Beast. Book 2 was like, oh, the Beast is actually evil, and oh my God, it's like The Empire Strikes Back. It ends poorly. Book 3 is like how we get our revenge and being a woman and fingering. There's a lot of fingering. I don't know why these fairies finger so much, but get ready for it. I am going to start setting aside time every day to read this fucking dense book. I have tried to read it at night. I've been only able to get like 1 chapter a night, and then like just passing out because I hate it so much. I can't stress how much I hate this fucking book. And it's been hard.
That's what she said when she read that book.
Oh, hey. Jesus Christ. It's so bad. And we'll get into it. And we're going to get into it right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This year. We also have other plans of just, we've always had the rest of this year planned out.
Yeah. And let me just jump in that real quick.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this year, I made a big spreadsheet. It's called Too Many Spreads.
Yeah. It's literally what it's called. It's literally called Too Many Spreads.
Too Many Spreads. And I planned out this entire year's based on all the suggestions too. It was like a really helpful tool with all the suggestions we got, and so we knew what we were going to plan to do for this month and next. And I was thinking about a specific book, and then I was getting overwhelmed with some other stuff that we were going through, and Alex was like, well, I could potentially read the last fairy book. And I thought it would be really funny because I didn't actually formally announce this, but I have another theme for this month, and it's mostly just food. It's a food-based month. Thanksgiving, as many know, is my favorite holiday of the year. So I wanted to make November really food-centric. Yeah. It's all about food and eating and stuff like that. And it happened when we started with dragons, and this is actually all Betty Davis's fault. We've always been one
week off because
I went so hard on Betty Davis, and that's my own fault.
Which is and we actually had an argument about Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed the episodes.
Yeah.
One of the things that was happening during that was like, well, the SEO and the analytics, and we were like discussing about the topics and everything. And you're like, I don't give a fuck. You're like, you're flying to California next week. We're going to talk about goddamn Betty Davis. Put the fucking makeup on. And looking back, actually, not on the audio analytics, but on the video analytics, Betty Davis is doing the absolute best, because I don't think anyone's ever done a deep dive 3-hour, almost 4-hour biography about Betty Davis like you did. And I
was like, this is going to change my entire timeline. It's going to ruin all my plans, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I just need to talk about Betty Davis.
Well, and then on the flip side of that too, going to the election, again, we're like talking to people like, you need to be doing more stuff about right now. And then you've been focusing so much on labor and the Gilded Age. And as we sat down, no, I'm going to say it.
I'm going to freak out.
No, hold on, calm down. Breathe. Everybody breathe.
Everybody breathe.
She opened her laptop,
and
you know how like on Microsoft Edge, it used to be called Internet Explorer, but now it's Microsoft Edge. It automatically starts showing you the news sometimes if you haven't opened anything. Yeah. And it was like, are we in the new Gilded Age? And Mrs. P lost her mind. She was like, and I just looked, and she's like, I gotta go. Just walked out of the room for a minute.
I just got another glass of Pedialyte.
Yeah. We've learned a lot about the term evacuate your bowels. We've learned so much.
No, this isn't my first rodeo.
Not your first, no. You were saying this is very similar to a
detoxing.
A detox.
It like the amount of shock on the system and stress and the way that my body personally reacted was directly this. It's the same thing I went through over 14 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember it. I mean, something really hard to forget, detoxing like that off of drugs and alcohol. And so like to be laying in bed, shaking, drinking Pedialyte again, like experiencing the waves of panic. And I was like, if I get the DTs and a JD Vance ghost flies above my head, I'm going to freak out because the DTs suck.
Yeah.
But luckily, I was not cursed with DTs, and I think I actually made the joke that it's not even fair because I didn't get to do any cool drugs this time. I just had the other end of it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's been a real.
Listen, right now, a lot of people are going through their feelings.
Yeah.
And it's completely fair. It's completely fine. I know that, there's a lot of my one suggestion to people is if you're staring at a screen, and that screen is making you feel a specific way, close the screen.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
And I think it's hard because it used to be 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
We would open our screens, our pads, our phones, our laptops, and we would get like a moment of relief. Like, oh, the silly tee-hee-hee TikToks. And look at this silly Instagram post. And like, these were our little moments away from work, life, struggle, all this stuff. These were our little escapisms were on the screens.
Yeah.
But now we're logging in, looking for the escapism, and it's not there.
It's not there right now.
It's actually worse because we're just seeing everybody else have the same experience with grief. Because it's all this like fear and grief that's going on right now. And I am not immune to it. I'm a person who's grieving and scared and sad. And like, I don't want to cry, but I feel it coming on. And I don't want to be alone right now.
Yeah, I know.
And so I did ask Alex if he could stay home.
Yeah.
And not go on the tour for the last 2 dates.
Yeah. And you can take a breath, baby. So we're going to announce it also on the other show, and I'm going to be posting it online. Unfortunately, I'm not coming to Arizona and Texas.
Yeah.
I want to apologize to everybody who's looking forward to that show. Right now, I don't want to be away from my family, and we, like everybody, don't know kind of where we are. We're playing everything day to day. Hopefully, once we have a better feeling about the world, we can make better decisions. One of the things we were talking about next year, we're not saying we're going to do it, but we're also not saying we're not going to do it, is whether or not we would want to take the podcast on the road.
Yeah.
And try out some different things.
Yeah.
We are, like I said, we're living in the moment, and we are trying to make sure that we are making the best decisions now.
Yeah. And I think also we're not special. We're just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. We're just figuring this out as we go.
Yep.
The only thing that made us a little different is that we were like, let's get out there and do this as hard as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And what a opportunity, right? Like, I won't ever take it for granted, this crazy opportunities that we've gotten.
Yeah.
And how awesome it is that we were able to do all this, to advocate for the things we believe in, and stand 10 toes and be like, this is what we believe in, this is how we're going to do it. And like, at the same time, I am sure that so many people listening are experiencing the same stages of grief and fear that we are. And like, I want to apologize that we have to cancel those dates because I just can't be alone right now, because I'm just too stressed out and full of anxiety and fear. And I hope y'all forgive me for that.
Yeah. And y'all, we're gonna try to figure it out. We're like I said, we're playing it by ear. But with that,
let's switch. Because I wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
Let me talk to you about something good.
What?
Shut up. I'm going to be so bipolar about this.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So listen.
All right.
You don't think I know how to compartmentalize? Are you kidding?
Okay.
I'm Irish Catholic.
Compartmentalize away. So Jesus.
I wanted to tell you one of the things that, like, so we're talking about looking at the internet to try to find like levity at this point, and it's like non-existent. Okay. It's just people making TikToks like fuck everybody, which honestly, catharsis. Say whatever you're gonna say.
Yeah.
But I did want to kind of drop some weird internet lore on you that I don't think you know about.
Okay.
That has been, I got sucked into a little lore hole on TikTok that I have no concept of. And okay, so Dave Portnoy.
Wait, no.
I only barely know who this man is. I know he has a podcast with two young people, and he's like 50, right? And they have a podcast where they talk about internet gossip.
Okay.
And so Dave Portnoy has these two younger people. They're in like their 20s.
Yeah.
And they talk about like all the gossip going. I'm like, what's Trish Paytas doing? Right? I don't know. What's the guy that's always boxing doing?
And Logan Paul?
No, the other one, Bryce Hall.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So wait, I only know Dave Portnoy because he was the pizza guy, right? He like does the pizza thing.
Yeah, he used to do the pizza thing. I mean, he still does.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
That's all I know about.
For the listeners.
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy would do this thing where he'd go to different cities and it was like the one bite review.
Yeah.
And he would go order a slice. I think it's always cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And he takes one bite of it.
Yeah.
And then he like gives his review of the place.
And I think this is unfair because back when I could eat pizza, God, I need to bite the pizza, but then I need to bite the crust because and I know this is going to be controversial, I like the crust more than the pizza. I could take a pizza cutter and go circular around that fucking thing and just take the crust off and eat the crust.
Yeah.
Big bubbles, crust. I don't need the cheese and sauce. I'm here for the carbs. And that's why God punished me and gave me celiacs.
Yeah, that's 100%.
I ate too many pizza crusts.
You went too hard on the crust. But at the same time, I will say that it has taken me more than one bite of pizza to actually realize I'm having the greatest pizza of my life. Like, I finally had Brooklyn pizza.
Yeah.
I was like, well, fuck, whatever. New York pizza can't be that much better. And I was in Brooklyn when I did that thing with Alana Glazer.
Oh, my God. Have we ever talked about that?
No. There's so much we've never talked about on this thing. Like, I met so many fucking people. I shot videos with Alana Glazer.
He met Miss Noodle.
I met Miss Noodle. When in their club, we all fam, I did a fucking TikToks with her. I made content.
We are all fam.
Because not all of us. We've learned.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but hold on. But when I was like, I need to grab a bite to eat. Like, I'm desperate. Like, I didn't know where I was. And like, there's a pizza place around the corner. I walked in. It was just some fucking hole in the wall Brooklyn pizza place near warehouses. And I was like, whatever. Give me a slice of a Sicilian.
You know it's gonna be delicious.
I take a bite. I'm just like eating. I'm so hungry. I'm just shoving this food. And I'm like, the third bite in, I just stopped. And I'm like, is there garlic in this crust? I was like, it just froze. And I was like, this is the fucking. And I just started to savor it. I was like, this is the greatest pizza I've ever had. I've always talked shit because I'm like, how could it be different? And here I was, and I'm like, there was, you know, that Danny DeVito meme of like, I get it now.
Yeah.
That was like, I've never understood living in New York. For anybody who lives in New York, God bless you. I don't understand it. I don't want to live like that, stacked on top of each other. I think Philly is about as close to compartmentalized as I want to be.
Yeah.
I need some space here and there. Like, at least with Philly, you got row homes. You can probably get a little bit of a not backyard, but like you got that back patio.
You get a square.
You get a square.
Everybody gets a square.
I need a square, okay? I at least need a square where I could go outside, get some sun on my face, and if I get hammered, pee on a fence. That's what I need, okay?
Awesome. Just staring down at your dick.
Just looking at it.
This is something we've experienced.
This is something we've actually experienced. You know. But this is all stuff, right? And so I've never understood, but I took a bite of that fucking Brooklyn pizza, and I was like, I get it now.
So wait,
all right. So Dave Portnoy.
Okay.
That's where we started.
That's how this started.
Okay.
So the reason that he's all over TikTok, and I don't know why TikTok fed this to me because I don't know who these people are. There's this girl named Brianna Chicken Fry. Her real name isn't Chicken Fry. That's the nickname she got in like college because she has skinny legs. And so they called her Chicken Legs or Chicken Fry. I don't know.
Okay.
TikTok told me.
Okay.
And she was dating a guy named Bryan.
Okay, so you just blew my mind because I didn't know her last name wasn't Chicken Fry. Because do you know what song he made?
No.
A little bit of chicken fry. Cold beer on a Friday night.
Are you kidding me right now?
That song that I played for you one time, we were driving, you're like, turn this shit off.
I hated that.
It was so bad with our freedom fries. So like it's like, but there's a whole weird.
And I just was like, that's the Bo Burnham song.
Yes, it is the pandering Bo Burnham song.
Bo Burnham song.
Yes, 100%.
Because I'm pandering.
And so when I heard like later when they're like, yeah, his girlfriend or fiance Brianna chicken fry, I was like, wait. Is a little bit of chicken fry not about chicken fried steak? Is chicken fry about getting a little bit of this girl? Like, is this song about her?
Probably, yeah.
Because I heard the song and I'm thinking, because my family's from the South and I like a Cracker Barrel sometimes. Maybe not anymore as I look the barrel of the camera down. But I thought the song was about having cold beer on a Friday night and then like having some chicken fried steak and sobering up. But it's a double entendre about some woman I didn't know.
Yeah.
So she
this is
dated.
The thing. This Brianna chicken fry gal, who's like, again, in her early 20s.
Yeah.
She's one of the podcast people.
On Barstool.
On Barstool.
Because Dave Portnoy owns Barstool.
Yeah, so he has a podcast.
Yes.
With a young girl, Brianna Chicken Fry, and then some guy that looks like a very young man whose name I don't remember. And the three of them talk about the gossip. Okay. So in all of that, she starts dating Zach Bryan. Okay. And it's basically, they've been dating for a year. They have a house. They were going to get married, have kids, the whole thing. But then it turns out they break up.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I did see that they broke up. That was the thing. And
I love that you've seen this.
I've seen that. That's all I know. Because one day I was like, wait, her name's Chicken Fry, but he wrote the Chicken Fry song. Yeah. And I've been so confused ever since.
So basically, apparently they broke up. Yeah. She found out, she found out that he like fully broke up with her because she started getting text messages from her friends being like, he's on Raya. Do you know that he's on Raya?
What is Raya?
Raya is like the...
Is that rich people tender?
Yes.
Why do I know this?
Yeah. It's famous people.
No. I know.
You have to be famous.
Yeah. You have to be beyond verified.
Yeah. And then they give you like a yearly review and you can get kicked off if you're not keeping up your
I think
stats.
Because I think Hassan Piker said he was on at one point,
probably.
Right? There's like a bunch of people who every now and then be like, yeah, I was on Raya.
I was on Raya.
Yeah. Doesn't it feel good, everybody? Doesn't it feel good to know that there's levels to this?
Oh my God.
Oh, the internet's democratizing. We're all going to be equal. Oh, yeah? Are you on the rich people fuck app?
So she gets all these messages from her friends that are like on Raya in LA because she's on the East Coast.
LA.
At LA. And they're like, oh my God, he's back on Raya, blah, blah. So she texts them and she's like, what are you doing? Like, we broke up. You said you were going to give me time before I announced it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, why did you create a Raya profile? And he's like, I didn't create it, I just returned it on.
He just flipped the switch?
Yeah, because he turned it off when they were dating, I guess.
Yeah.
And so she's like, what? And then I guess all this stuff happened. They had a really bad relationship. She's stating that he was really emotionally abusive and narcissistic. There's a lot of talk about that he's maybe an alcoholic, all that stuff. But then I guess he tried to pay her $12 million. This is how it ends up in my thing.
Wait, how does he have 12? What? Okay.
So he apparently, I'm not going to say alleged. They said on their podcast that I was fed through TikTok that he's, after the breakup and all the stuff he posted online, his people reached out to her and was like, listen, we will give you $12 million to sign an NDA and you're never allowed to talk about the relationship, what happened during it, the breakup, all this stuff. And I guess within the negotiations of this, she's like having a panic attack because she is someone who's been in an emotionally abusive relationship. And now he's trying to use that power dynamic to silence her. But she tells her boss and good friend and 50-year-old dude, Dave Portnoy, and he's like, the fuck's going on? So then he starts fighting with Zach Bryan's lawyers.
Got it.
And then they're just like, she decides she's not taking the money because she's not being paid off for her silence. So now she's just like dropping it all on the podcast.
So hold on. Yeah. I discovered I made a big mistake.
What is that?
Apparently there's a Zach Brown band and you're talking about Luke Bryan.
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan?
Zach Bryan.
All right. Well, then who the fuck is that Zach Brown? Hold on. I need to check this. I need to know who these people are.
Who are these country boys named Zach?
Okay. There's too many and they all spell Zach wrong. This is Z-A-C. That's how it's
Z-A-C Bryan, but the Bryan is spelled with a Y.
Okay. That's normal. Okay. That's allowed. Okay, it is allowed.
B-R-I.
There's an I. You can spell Bryan that way too.
Oh, okay.
But hold on, who was in Zac Brown Band? I need to know this because the Chicken Fried song is by Zac Brown, but you're saying Brown.
I don't know what this man is popular for.
What is his name?
Leave it in the comments.
What's his name? Luke Bryan?
No, Zac Bryan.
Zach. How do I spell Zach?
Z-A-C-H.
C-H. Bryan. Okay, this guy. What a oh my god! Am I allowed to just say dildo?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a dildo.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to here. Self-titled, everything. It doesn't look like he wasn't in this group.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's just
I think you
this
got
guy.
it wrong. I think that you
I confused.
mixed up your pandering.
I confused Zac Bryan and the Zac Brown Band.
Yeah.
To be fair, they all look alike. I'm only off. Honestly, I'm only off by a couple letters.
Yeah.
He spells Zach with an H. I want to die. Oh my God! Why are these our royalty?
I don't know, but listen,
Okay.
I got sucked down this hole, and I just wanted to tell you about it.
Okay, keep going. He offers her $12 million, and she says no.
She says no because she's like, I'm not gonna be silenced on my experiences and feelings.
Yeah.
Right. And
can I throw something out real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
I will be silent for $12 million. I'm gonna just throw that out. We have our number, by the way. We should throw that out. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it out in the universe. Our number combined,
do not.
$25 million. That way we both have 12.5.
Okay.
And we can go our own separate ways.
We're getting a divorce?
No. We'll stay together for tax purposes.
Oh, right.
But we'll have separate homes. We'll be like Tim Burton and what's her name before they actually got divorced.
Oh, Helena Bonham Carter.
Remember? Because they had row homes.
Honestly, we would
with
flourish.
a door.
We would flourish in two separate row homes.
But think of how much we flourished when we had two separate offices.
It's true.
Listen, love the baby. Hate that it did downsize us to one office. We had two offices, and it was so good. We could have done this via Zoom in separate rooms. Instead of you being like, why are there so many empty Gatorade bottles in here? And I'm like, because I haven't been out of the room.
I never leave the room.
I sit here with my thoughts.
No, but there's no real ending to it. It's just like, this is now a fight. And then I guess Steve Portnoy and the other guy, I really should learn the other guy's name, the other young man on the podcast, made a diss track about
I gotta look it up.
Zac Bryan.
I gotta look it up.
But Zac Bryan diss track, it is the worst diss track I've ever seen. For some reason, it's going viral.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God.
No.
It still keeps going.
They're dressed like two cops. If you
Yeah.
them.
I'm just looking for. I'm trying to. Okay. Hold on. I don't see the actual track. I'm seeing a lot of stuff about the track
because it's just so good. It's so bad.
Yeah. Okay. What is that's on Instagram?
Instagram.
I'm not logged into Instagram.
I guess you'll never see it.
Okay.
But I just need you to know that TikTok was sensing that every time I logged in, I closed the app immediately because I was like, no, this isn't helping anything.
Yeah.
And so TikTok said, hey, do you want to listen to mind-numbing voices for a minute that have nothing to do with, yeah, there it is, the smallest man. Oh, because Dave Portnoy is a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah, it's always Josh Richards is the other guy's name.
Oh,
that's what I was looking for. His name's Josh because I don't know who that is. Yeah, I was like, it might be the Jack Mac guy who shows up. I don't know who this man is. I just pulled him up.
That young man, I don't know.
He's a Canadian media personality and businessman. We live in hell. We live in hell. Oh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I hope people got through the depressing part at the beginning of this. To get to here.
I don't know why we're here. I just felt like I needed to tell you that for some reason the algorithm fed me this story. And then I followed all the way down. And apparently this Brianna chick has another podcast with her friend Grace.
How many podcasts does she need?
I don't know. But
I mean, I can't really talk shit. We have two.
Yeah.
We have two. We have two. Where are we? Oh, okay.
But then like the best friend girl, Grace, they're on hard times because this relationship with this Zac Bryan guy was so bad it like put a wedge in their relationship.
Well, just so you know, Josh is 5'11", according to Google. It just told me that. It's just out of nowhere.
Nice.
It's like
I'm sure that's from his Raya.
Age 22, height 5'11".
Yeah, they pulled that from his Raya.
All right, so he's 5'7". Got it. No hate to a short king.
Yeah, listen, I love
but a lot of hate to people who lie about their height. This is okay.
That was it. That's it. I just wanted you to know that I got sucked down this weird lore about Dave Portnoy's podcast. And the whole thing I can't understand is, I mean, it makes sense in some way because it's like a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
But these young people with this older man talking about pop culture, which is, I guess, funny because he's like, I don't know what these kids are talking about. And then...
Well, there's something pleasurable. I mean, like, that's kind of, in a way, what our podcast...
We're close. We're only 10 years away.
No, I'm saying, though, but that's kind of what we do to each other.
10 years.
From 50?
Till 50.
Okay.
And I'm 50. And I kick and I stretch.
Knock on wood right now. If we actually make it.
We're making it.
We're making
Optimism. Spite powers us in so many ways.
Yeah. All right. Well,
you ready to start this episode?
I think we should. Can you tell everyone what this week's episode is?
This episode is going to be about cheese. I told you all the episodes this month are about food.
And this week's episode for Sunday.
It's specifically about caves of cheese caves.
Oh, I know. Oh, my God. Okay. We're going to all come together on this Sunday. Mm-hmm. We will learn about cheese caves.
Yep.
We will have many talks about that, and we'll do all the Patreon shout-outs. And again, you'll hear a couple of these announcements again at the very beginning, but hopefully with a little bit more joy, I think.
Everybody take care of yourselves. Take a nap.
Yeah, and my apologies to the Zac Brown band.
I don't apologize. I didn't like that song.
Listen, I want to tell you, I know you don't drink, but if you did drink.
I would like that song.
Yeah,
Are you saying you have to be drunk to like that song?
No, I'm not saying you have to be drunk to like that song. I think you have to like have enjoyable experiences to like that song.
I think I had the most enjoyable. Too many enjoyable, some would say.
Well, and you know what? That's why this is the warm-up and not too many tabs.